This story is for education. We reject hate and violence. Hey there, my friend. I'm happy you're here today. Let's sit for a moment, take a breath, and listen to a story about courage, time, and dreams. It's a story about Taylor Swift, not the star we see today, but the girl she once was and the woman she became. Maybe in her story, you'll find something that speaks to you too. When I first learned about Taylor, I saw an old picture of her. She was young, maybe 10 or 11. Her hair was messy, her smile soft, and in her eyes, that look. You know the one. The look of someone who already decided, I will try, even if it takes forever. She grew up in Pennsylvania, surrounded by open fields, sunlight, and Christmas trees. Her family lived on a tree farm where every winter smelled like pine and snow. It wasn't a fancy life. It was quiet, real. A word for this is modest, not big or showy. Example, she lived in a modest house, full of warmth. The days were simple, but music was everywhere. Taylor liked to make up little songs about anything, her toys, her cat, even the sound of the wind outside her window. Her parents noticed that she could sing. Not just sing, she could feel the words. And then came the gift that changed everything, a guitar. Guitar means a musical instrument with strings. Example, she learned guitar after school every single day. At first, her fingers hurt. The strings cut small lines in her skin. But she didn't stop. Persistent means not giving up even when it's hard. Example, she was persistent. She practiced until the pain turned into music. She was 11 when she wrote her first song. It was about a boy in school. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. Her parents believed in her dream. One night, she said quietly, I want to go to Nashville. Her mom froze for a second. That's far away, she thought. But she smiled because she saw that look again, the one that says, I'm ready. Life reflection. Sometimes love means letting someone chase their light, even when it's far. When they arrived in Nashville, everything felt big. The noise, the lights, the people rushing past. Taylor was just a kid, standing in the middle of that world with her guitar. She went to every studio, every open mic, every door she could find. She was nervous. That means worried or shy about something new. Example, she was nervous before her first performance in front of strangers. But she also had something stronger than fear, courage, the power to do something even when it scares you. Example, her courage made people notice her. Most of the time, they said no. Come back when you're older. Your songs are cute, but too simple. Still, she kept writing, kept showing up. That's the word versatile, able to do many things well. Example, she played, sang, and wrote her own songs. Life reflection. Sometimes faith is quiet. You just keep walking until the path appears. And then, one day, she got a call. Someone finally said yes. She signed a small deal, started recording, and by 16, her first album came out. Her songs were about real life, first love, broken hearts, being misunderstood. Nothing fake. Authentic means real and true. Example, her songs were authentic and full of emotion. People listened, not because she was famous, but because her words sounded like theirs. That's when everything began to change. She started touring, performing on small stages, meeting fans. She said thank you after every song. She was grateful. That means thankful. Example: she felt grateful for the people who believed in her. Her first album became the foundation of her career. Foundation means the base or start of something strong. Example: those songs were the foundation of everything that came after. Life reflection. The first victory is not about the prize, it's about finding your voice. But fame is tricky. It feels bright at first, then heavy. She was suddenly everywhere: TV, magazines, news. People loved her music, but some started watching too closely. They wrote stories, made rumors, judged her for being young, for being happy, for being herself. And you know what she did? She smiled. She said nothing. She kept writing. She turned her feelings into songs. That's what artists do. They turn pain into beauty. After a while, she felt something inside her start to shift. She loved country music, but she also wanted to try something new. She began listening to pop, experimenting with beats, dancing more, playing with color. People warned her, "Don't change, it's risky." But she looked in the mirror and whispered, "I already have." That's adaptable, able to change when needed. Example: she was adaptable when she tried new styles. It took discipline, too, doing the work every day, even when no one is watching. Example: her discipline helped her write song after song. She gained perspective, a new way of seeing things. Example: with perspective, she realized change wasn't betrayal, it was growth. Her next album, 1989, was full of energy. It sparkled, it danced. The sound was fresh, the lyrics sharp, the confidence real. She was no longer the small-town girl. She was the artist she dreamed of becoming. Life reflection: change is not losing yourself. It's finding another version of you. But not everything was easy. Fame brings noise, opinions, criticism, and stories that twist truth. She faced that too. She felt tired, lonely, sometimes misunderstood. But instead of fighting back, she wrote. A new word: resilient, means strong after difficulties. Example: she stayed resilient when others doubted her. And another: grace, means calm strength and kindness. Example: she moved with grace even under pressure. After a show one night, when the crowd was gone and lights were off, she sat alone on the edge of the stage. Her hands were still shaking. She whispered to herself, "This is real, and I'm still here." Life reflection. The loudest victories happen in silence. Then something bigger happened. She learned that her early recordings, her masters, had been sold. It was her voice, her music, her work, and yet it wasn't hers anymore. She didn't yell or complain. She thought for a while, then made a plan. She said, "I'll record them again." That was her way of taking back control. Control means the power to decide. Example: she took control of her songs by re-recording them. She felt empowered, strong, and confident again. Example: she felt empowered knowing her art was truly hers. Her intent, her purpose was clear. Example: her intent was not revenge, but freedom. Life reflection. True power is quiet. It doesn't shout, it acts. During this time, her music became softer, more poetic. Folklore and Evermore sounded like dreams, peaceful, deep, full of stories. They were intimate, very personal. Example, her lyrics felt intimate, like letters from a friend. They were tender, soft, and emotional. Example, her voice was tender and honest. They were full of reflection, careful thoughts. Example, her songs became reflections of the world around her. When I listened to them, I felt like sitting in a small cabin during rain. It was quiet, healing, full of warmth. Life reflection. Music is not just sound. It's someone saying, "You're not alone." Then, after the quiet, came color again. The Eras Tour. It was like opening a box of memories. Every song, every outfit, every note told a story from her past. People sang, laughed, cried. The air itself felt alive. Journey means a long road or process. Example, her tour was a journey through her life. Unity means togetherness. Example, her shows brought unity to fans across the world. And legacy means what you leave behind. Example, her songs became her legacy, timeless and real. Watching her perform, I thought about that small girl with a guitar on a Christmas tree farm. She made it. She grew, changed, fell, and rose again. And somehow, she stayed kind. Life reflection. Dreams grow tall only when their roots stay deep. After all this, one truth remained. Taylor's story was never about fame. It was about courage, hard work, and love. Love for art, love for people, love for life. And that, my friend, is only half the story. Because what comes next, her peace, her wisdom, her understanding, changes everything. The next part of her story feels like a deep breath after a long song. The lights are still bright, but her eyes are softer now. She has learned how to stand in the noise and still hear her own heart. I remember one night during the Eras tour. She walked off stage, sweaty, smiling, her hands shaking a little. Backstage was quiet. She sat down, took a sip of water, opened her small notebook, and started to write. Her team gave her space. She liked it that way, just a few minutes alone to collect herself. She once said she always tried to stay balanced. That means keeping things steady. Example, she found balance between fame and peace. She stayed grounded, meaning calm and real. Example, she stayed grounded by calling her mom after every show. Life reflection. You can fly high and still remember the ground that raised you. When her tour ended, she didn't rest for long. She started to talk about creativity and time. Patience, she said, is the secret of everything. Patience means waiting calmly. Example, she learned patience when ideas took years to grow. Routine means what you do every day. Her writing routine was simple. Tea, pen, music. Clarity means a clear mind. Example, with clarity she could write from truth. Her fame had become huge, yet she stayed gentle. She smiled at people backstage, hugged her dancers, thanked her crew. She said the best thing about concerts was watching strangers become friends. That was unity in real life, thousands of hearts beating in one rhythm. Life reflection. Real art connects people who might never meet otherwise. Later, she began to tell stories not only through songs but through film. I watched her direct her first short film. She stood behind the camera with quiet focus. Every frame looked like memory painted with light. Frame means a single image in a film. Example, each frame carried emotion. Narrative means the story. Example, she built a narrative about love and loss. Symbol means something that stands for an idea. Example, a red scarf became a symbol of time. When she finished filming, she smiled shyly and said, "This story belongs to the heart." Life reflection. When you speak from the heart, even silence becomes music. After that, awards started coming, not just for singing, but for writing, directing, producing. She didn't look proud. She looked thankful. She said softly that every success was shared. Humble means not thinking you are better than others. Example, she stayed humble even when the world clapped for her. Mentor means someone who helps others learn. Example, she became a mentor for young writers. Support means help and care. Example, her fans gave her support in every chapter. Life reflection. Growth is not becoming someone else, it's becoming more of who you are. But fame in the new world had its price. The internet was loud and people judged quickly. She learned to set boundaries, lines that protect your peace. Example, she set boundaries to keep her private life safe. She protected her energy, meaning her inner strength. Example, she saved energy for what truly mattered. And she kept her focus, attention on her art, not the noise. Life reflection. You can't stop the storm, but you can choose where you stand. So she took a break. She needed to breathe. She spent quiet days at home, cooked, read, played with her cats. She listened to silence until it started to sound like a melody again. Pause means to stop for a short time. Example, she took a pause to rest. Restore means to bring back strength. Example, nature helped her restore her calm. Breathe means to take air slowly. Example, she learned to breathe without hurry. When she returned, her music felt warmer, deeper. Her songs were about self-worth, peace, forgiveness. She began to speak not only for herself, but for anyone learning to start again. Life reflection. Sometimes the best way to heal yourself is to help someone else heal too. Still, she never lost her humor. During one concert, she forgot a line, stopped, laughed, and said, "That's live music." Ha ha! The crowd laughed with her. Spontaneous means happening naturally. Example, her laugh was spontaneous. Joyful means full of happiness. Example, the room felt joyful. Connection means closeness. Example, her connection with fans felt real. Life reflection. Perfection is cold. Small mistakes make life beautiful. Now when I look at her, I don't just see a singer. I see a person who grew up in front of us and stayed human. She kept her habit, something you do often. Example, her habit of writing daily kept her sharp. She showed courage, strength in fear. Example, she had courage to change style again and again. She kept her vision, her dream of art that lasts. Example, her vision guided every step. Life reflection. What you do every day shapes who you become. Her fans wrote letters, long, emotional, honest. They told her her songs helped them survive heartbreak or loneliness. She read many of them, sometimes crying quietly. She said those letters reminded her of nights when she was 15, writing in her bedroom, feeling invisible. Inspire means to give someone hope or ideas. Example, her songs inspire people to try again. Belonging means feeling accepted. Example, her shows gave people a sense of belonging. Hope means belief that good things will come. Example, her words gave hope to those who needed it. Life reflection. Every kind word you share can become someone's light. She kept learning music, film, poetry, even history. She said curiosity kept her young. Curious means wanting to know more. Example, she was curious about everything. Creative means full of new ideas. Example, her creative spirit saw songs in daily life. Discipline, we saw before, means doing the work with focus. Example, her discipline built her future. Life reflection. Curiosity feeds your mind, discipline keeps it alive. One day, she said she wasn't afraid of getting older. She said time made her calmer, wiser. Wisdom means understanding from experience. Example, she gained wisdom through years. Graceful means moving with beauty and peace. Example, she aged in a graceful way. Accept means to take something as it is. Example, she learned to accept both love and criticism. Life reflection. Time isn't stealing from you, it's teaching you. Before each concert, she whispered, "Ready," smiled, and walked into the light. That small ritual gave her strength. Steady means firm and sure. Example, her steady heart calmed her. Presence means being fully in the moment. Example, her presence on stage was magic. Confidence means trust in yourself. Example, her confidence came from practice. Life reflection. Confidence doesn't need to shout. It just breathes. She began to help more. Charity, education, young artists. She wanted to use her voice for something good. Generous means giving and kind. Example, she was generous with her time. Advocate means someone who speaks for others. Example, she became an advocate for fair rights. Community means a group of caring people. Example, she built a community of hope. Life reflection. Power grows brighter when you use it to lift others. Now her story feels calm. She's not racing anymore. She's walking, steady, smiling, thankful. She has become both student and teacher. The girl with the guitar has turned into a woman with peace. Life reflection. Growth is not a race, it's a rhythm. But her journey isn't over yet. Smiles. There's one more step. The moment she understands what it truly means to live, not just exist. And that's where our next part begins. The room is quiet now. The crowd is gone, the lights are fading, and I can almost hear the sound of paper turning. Taylor sits near a window, the city glowing outside. A candle burns on the table. Her notebook lies open. She's writing again. Her face looks peaceful. She smiles to herself from time to time, like she's talking with the girl she used to be. Years of music, love, mistakes, and hope, all resting between those pages. A new word, stillness, means complete calm. Example, she found beauty in stillness after years of noise. Another, presence means being truly here, not in the past or future. Example, Her presence filled the room without words. And reflection means thinking deeply. Example, she wrote reflections about every stage of her life. One night, she wrote something that felt like truth itself. The story isn't about winning. It's about continuing. Those words sound simple, but they carry so much. Her new songs were letters to her younger self. She thanked the girl who tried, the one who cried and kept writing anyway. She forgave her old fears. Forgive means to let go of anger. Example, she learned to forgive herself for her past. Acceptance means to say yes to what is. Example, she found acceptance for every season. Peaceful means calm and full of ease. Example, her songs became peaceful, like quiet rivers. Life reflection. You can't change your past, but you can make peace with it. I watched her on stage again. Older now, but lighter somehow. The crowd sang softly with her. There were no fireworks, no loud beats, only hearts and voices. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She was trying to connect. Connect means to feel close to someone. Example, her music helped people connect. Vulnerable means open and honest about feelings. Example, she became vulnerable when she shared her fears. Resonate means to touch something deep inside. Example, her words resonated with thousands. At one show, she whispered, "Don't be afraid to start again." For a few seconds, nobody moved. Then applause broke like rain, soft, real. I loved that. Taylor said that writing songs was like catching light in a jar. It means moments fade fast, but if you pay attention, you can hold their light. Capture means to hold or take something. Example, she tried to capture her feelings in songs. Moment means a short time. Example, she lived each moment fully. Memory means something you remember. Example, her songs turned moments into memories. Now she values mornings more than awards. She loves coffee, sunlight, the sound of rain. She laughs with friends. She reads. She breathes. Gratitude means thankfulness. Example, she wakes with gratitude every day. Simplicity means being easy and natural. Example, she enjoys the simplicity of life. Content means satisfied. Example, she feels content without chasing more.
Life reflection. Success feels different when you stop chasing and start living. These days, she gives more than she takes. She mentors young artists, donates to schools, supports fair pay for musicians. She says, everyone has a song inside. You just need to listen. Listen means to hear with care. Example, she listened to others before giving advice. Influence means the power to affect. Example, her influence came from kindness, not control. One afternoon, she returned to her childhood farm. The smell of pine filled the air. She walked slowly, touching the trees, the ground, remembering. Return means to come back. Example, she returned to her roots. Origin means beginning. Example, the farm was the origin of her dream. Circle means something that ends where it began. Example, her life had come full circle. Life reflection. The higher you climb, the more you value the place you began. She hummed a melody as she walked. No words, just sound. Maybe that's all we ever need, a small song that reminds us we're alive. Authentic means real. Example, she became her most authentic self. Essence means true nature. Example, music was her essence. Freedom means being able to choose. Example, she found freedom in honesty. Life reflection. The goal is not to be perfect, it's to be real. The climax of her story didn't happen in a loud moment. It came quietly during an interview. Someone asked, "After all these years, what drives you now?" She smiled and said, "To live fully, not just to exist." Those words felt like a heartbeat. Exist means to live without purpose. Example, she didn't want to just exist. Purpose means reason. Example, her purpose was to create meaning. Action means doing. Example, she turned every dream into action. Life reflection. Life begins when you choose purpose over comfort. After all this, one truth remained. Her story isn't about fame, it's about transformation, about turning doubt into discipline, pain into art, time into beauty. She showed us that it's fine to begin again, to fall and rise, to grow slowly. The real masterpiece is not the song, it's the life you build while writing it. As I tell her story now, I feel a quiet hope inside me. Maybe you feel it too. Maybe you remember your own dream, small but alive. Maybe it's waiting for you to listen. Begin means to start. Example, you can begin today. Dream means something you wish for. Example, her dream changed her world. Believe means to trust. Example, she believed even when no one else did. Life reflection. Every dream begins with belief. So here we are, my friend. You and I have walked beside her, through lights and rain, through silence and applause. We've seen a girl with a guitar become a woman of grace. Her journey tells us this: life is art. You can paint it, sing it, write it. And no matter where you stand now, you can still begin. You can still start living, not just existing. Let's remember a few of her key words: modest, guitar, patient, grateful, discipline, courage, focus, wisdom, purpose, and action. They are not only part of her story, they can become part of yours. Life reflection. You don't need fame to live with meaning. You just need kindness, courage, and time. So take a breath. Look around. Your story is just beginning. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe. The next story will surprise you. And please, share your thoughts, write your comments, and tell me what you want to hear next. Together, we'll keep creating light. Thank you for listening. Stay kind, stay curious, and never stop believing in the music of your own heart.